and welcome to the 21st episode of Keeping It Real with TNL. 21. Kind of like my birthday today. I'm 21. I'm kidding. Holy crap. Whew, 21 though. This is a big deal. I'm here with Coach Ty, and today we have Coach McKenna. I'm very excited to have her on here. Finally, Coach McKenna. We're going to talk about who she is, how she got into CrossFit, why she decided to coach, and talk about how she's personal training now for us. Lots of things today. Big day. Very excited.
What's going on, McKenna?
Favorite time.
Thank you so much for taking your time on to actually come out here, be on the show, speak with us, and kind of let us know a little bit about you. We're going to be covering, some of your whole coaching stuff and kind of what you've been doing around here recently. But before we that, a couple housekeeping things to take care of. Memorial Day Murph. There's going to be 2 classes, 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. Both of those will require a reservation. So for those of you who are members here, or even if you're listening and plan on coming because you're in town for the holiday weekend, please make a reservation for Murph. I believe that is May 26th. Is it Monday?
Monday, yeah.
Yes. So,
Monday.
but before we speak with our coach, Coach Lori has some very good info on metabolic dysfunction, and I want her to talk about that and kind of spread some value.
I do. So I started off my morning at 7 a.m. on a webinar. Broken Science and MetFix do a phenomenal job of bringing on experts in all the arenas, right? This one was like about, do we glean as much energy from carbs as we do from fat for energy as we're working out, and, body composition and things like that? And can we vacillate between the two, and talking about things like that? But what really stuck out, and I talk about this all the time, I think everybody starts to hate me like their mom, like they're 16 and I'm their mom. They're like, stop talking about it. But we're missing a vital point. If you are working your tail off and you're eating right, whether it be macro balancing like I was, right? Or you're doing a slow carbohydrate, you're ketogenic, or you're just kind of like carb cycling for how you're training, and you're not really getting any results, you're never going to until you clear up the metabolic dysfunction, which is insulin resistance. I say it quietly because if I yell it from the hilltops, nobody listens. So metabolic syndrome X, metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, prediabetes, you call it what you want to, but you're not getting anywhere. And I will remind us all, because those of you that are from the gym that have watched this, and McKenna has known me for years now, like my body was not getting anywhere. And I was at like 1,382 calories a day, macro balancing, doing my thing, low glycemic. I don't eat wheat because it makes me sick. So it wasn't like I was getting shit in my diet that was tanking my battleship. And I was doing really well, and I was not losing body fat. And it was not perimenopause, and it was not bad genes. That's my favorite too. It was genetic. No, it was the insulin resistance that I had to come back to the realization of, run the blood work. And I was like, explicative, it's back. I haven't had this since my late teens, early 20s, and it affected my fertility. So again, it's for men and women. It's not like sexist. It love on everybody. So I'm just bringing it up again because so many people will get frustrated within their CrossFit career of like, I'm here 5 days a week and I'm not losing weight. And I'm like, how do you eat? I eat really well. Write it down for me. Okay. And we switch a few things and it works because they're not starting their day with like 80-gram standard American diet sugar breakfast of granola, fruit, berries, and a donut, because those are trending right now. People love the donuts. They bring them here too, mochi donut, all these things. They're just like, it looks good, but I don't like being sick anymore, right? So think about it and look at how you're eating. And I know no doctor that I have come across in any health insurance background in California will run your fasting insulin, but you've got to get that done. Your fasting glucose, your A1C, and fasting insulin. It's called suspected insulin resistance blood work. You can go to ultalabs.com and order it yourself, and I'll read your results for free. How about that? We'll just keep doing that.
How's that?
How about that? She's so sassy, 5'2" and sassy. So yeah, that's the thing. Because we have a lot of people that in the gym and clients just, they get frustrated, like they're not getting the results they should. And it all comes back to, it built over years Rome was not built in a day. Insulin resistance was not built in a day, probably decades. And going ketogenic isn't going to clear it up. There's things that we have to do and look at and test and see where you are to see where you need to be and how strict you really need to toe that line, right? If we're not sick, we can kind of fuck around and find out. But if we've hit a medical problem, it takes complete dedication. And I know that's hard because I've done it repeatedly over different years of my life. So let us help you with that.
Absolutely. So yeah, no, but seriously, so Lori has even helped me out in this sense. I remember maybe about 6 or 7 months ago, me and her were obviously getting heavy and kind of talking into the insulin resistance. And at that time, I was training one of my clients. She was extremely overweight, and she was cutting the calories. She was doing everything right. She upped her protein, but we still weren't losing weight. And we're almost 3 weeks in, and maybe she was down about 2 pounds. And so I remember looking at the food, and even though everything was perfect, she was doing 0.25 cups of jasmine rice every day. 0.25 cups of jasmine rice, which for her was cutting. But I was like, hey, just for 1 week, just 1 week only, I was like, just don't argue. I know that you're already working hard. I'm not taking that away. Just cut that one thing. Keep everything the same that you're doing. She lost like 5 pounds that week just by cutting out 0.25 grams of rice every single day. And that's when we had started figuring, oh, well, at least that's when I was like, oh yeah, it was insulin resistant. Like that's what was causing her to not lose weight. It was her. She was insulin resistant, which she later found out. But that was one of her first starts actually seeing a change. And so it was. I obviously want to thank you for giving me that helped out somebody. But yeah, that's just one of those things.
Yeah.
So McKenna, well, it's time we finally get to speak with you. I'm so glad that you're on the show too. So you're obviously one of my favorite people. I always love hanging out with you. You always me and you kind of razz on each other, give each other a hard time. But ever since you've been here, uh, it's been a pleasure just having you around. Seriously. Now, before we go into anything, let's just start. Very basic. Tell us about how you got started in CrossFit and what your CrossFit journey's been, and let's start with that.
Well, it started back in 2014. My friend said, let's check out this CrossFit gym. I want to join. And I was like, you're crazy. I thought CrossFit was like this cult, like just really, really fit people.
It is a cult.
Yeah. And I was just like, we don't belong there. What are you talking about? And so I joined with her. They had like an on-ramp program, and I did that with her. And then I signed up for a membership, and I was like, let's go to the first class together. So I was so intimidated, and she didn't ever fall through and come to any classes. So I had to go by myself, and I was so nervous, but I ended up loving it because I felt like it really pushed me. It was challenging workouts, and I loved suffering with, friends, like becoming friends with other members. And so I felt like I always was happy to go. It was like relief after work, after a stressful day, just go to the gym. Just obviously pre-kids when I just had that availability. So that's how I got into it. And even, starting, I remember the owner coming up to me and being like, see me lift weights when I was new, and was like, oh, did you like play sport or lift weights? And I was like, no. She's like, oh, that's really strong. So I was like, oh, cool. Maybe CrossFit's for me. I didn't know I was strong. So I discovered that I could lift heavy weights. So that was
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's hella cool.
That's so. I just want to add, and I'm gonna let Lori ask her question. I'm just curious. So, you mean to tell me that you and a friend had this plan, and she completely flaked, and you still follow through?
Yeah.
What was it that made you follow through? Is what I'm curious about, because usually, because it had seemed like you didn't want to do it anyway, and now you have the instant cop out. We're like, okay, well, she's not going to be here. Why am I going to show up?
Yeah, I guess.
What exactly pushed you to still?
That's a good question. I think because I'd already taken the on ramp, that I thought, like, I kind of 1 foot in the door. Like, I don't want to be like a loser. Like, I'm gonna fall through with this. It was intimidating to go by myself, but because I felt like everyone there like knew each other, and I just like was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and what if I'm like the last one to finish the workout? And so I think it was just to push myself, just to be like, okay, well, I'm still gonna do it. I signed up. Like, I'm not gonna just chicken out, So
Cool.
yeah.
Love that. That's good. I was thinking of your friends like, let's go bungee jumping.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Just kidding. You're on your own.
Yeah.
You are hella strong. I'm gonna put this out here. Like when you're in barbell class or even a CrossFit class, and I'm like, should I keep up with McKenna?
No.
You're so strong. I mean, literally, I can see why when you were in your first gym, they're like, how long you been lifting? Because you have some serious strength. You're always like my inspiration and keep me going when I just want to stop snatching or something in this room. Or maybe they won't notice if I just walk out that door. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, you're the best. I love it. What else was I going to ask you? Let's talk about, well, first of all, how lucky we are to have you as a coach. And what was the defining moment that made you get your L1 and coach for us?
I mean, I always thought it'd be cool to be a CrossFit coach. I love the gym. My daughter was like 2. I stopped working my 9 to 5 job. So I felt like I had, time during the day. But I definitely felt, again, intimidated of like, well, I can't even do a pull-up. How can I be a CrossFit coach? So but then when you and Tim were gone traveling, you asked the members, can people just help out while you're gone? I was like, yeah, I'll help out. And so I think that kind of, again, put like one foot in the door of like, okay. And then I guess kind of as starting, I wanted to push myself, was like, hey, let's just get your L1. That sounds like a challenge. And maybe this is a new path for me. And so I got my L1 and I just loved it. Like I love the CrossFit methodology and just I'm always like telling my friends again who are intimidated by CrossFit, like it's not like it's just such a good workout and it's just about getting an elderly person to be able to do a box step up because they need to be able to go upstairs, And so like I like how everything in CrossFit comes back to like just basic movement outside the gym, Got to lift up a heavy box when you're moving, into your apartment or something like that. And so I think people think it's just like a place to be extremely fit, but it's like, no, this is just to get your body to be able to do normal stuff like squatting.
Oh my God. Yeah. These constantly very functional movements that
Yes.
That's where it's at.
Yes, some people.
So I completely love that. And so that probably speaks volumes of why you become such a good coach. And I would say it's because you have genuine passion. It's obviously tough to find people who are doing something because they want to. As me and you both know, some people choose to get a job because it pays good. And I'm like, okay, it pays good and benefits. So whether I like it or not, I will do it. And you could tell that they're just doing a job. And it's like, I'm going to do the least and I'm going to try to get it done. But clearly that's not what I'm getting from this. This is much deeper. And that's probably why you've been doing so well. But you spoke about the L1. I'm just curious, what was your favorite thing about the L1? Like what were some of your biggest takeaways and what were some things that you may have learned that you didn't know?
Well, I have a trouble with like my flexibility getting the bar back on my chest. And I remember the trainer, it was online, the video, he's like, no, you can do it. It's just gonna be really uncomfortable, And so it's just like, oh, we really just got to push people. It's like, no, I can't do it. I just don't have the flexibility. And him just like, even through video, being like, he's trained so many people to just be like, no, keep putting those elbows up, keep putting those elbows up. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like it was good to learn that I could bring that to clients, of like, no, I just can't do it. Or no, it's just my flexibility. Or no, I just don't have the strength. And to kind of be like, not believe them right away. Like, okay, well, let's try a little harder. So I think that's motivated. And again, liking CrossFit and their trainers, it's like, I think they're all passionate as well. Like they believe in the methodology. Like it's not just a job for them. And so just kind of getting that reassurance in that training was really helpful.
Love that.
It's wonderful. Awesome. Let's talk a bit about on-ramps. So we do on-ramps. We have a 90-day program. We're going to revamp that. But we also do quick starts for people that have a little bit of background in movement and body function, like being in control of that. And so there's on-ramps for 2 one-on-one sessions. And you've taken a few members through that. Like, tell me what you think about the on-ramp, what you love about it, what you learn as a coach and an athlete when you do them too, right? Like,
Yeah, I do love teaching people on ramps because I definitely have seen the negative side of people coming to class that haven't done it. And it's hard when you have a full class, you can't give them that detailed time always to be like, no, this is how you do a clean in the barbell. Even though maybe they came in fit, but there's just so much technique, especially when it comes to the barbell. And that's what I love about the on ramp is really getting everyone to feel comfortable with, even though it is uncomfortable, the overhead squat. And feel like this feels so awkward, or my wrist hurt. I'm like, yeah, it's going to. It's an awkward movement, and yes, it hurts the wrist. And so, but getting them to do it right because that's going to prevent injury. So I love the on ramp, just having that one-on-one time to. I really push the barbell movements coming, first from the deadlift to the clean and everything so that they feel comfortable and confident going into class. And just, yeah, again, testing where they're at. Like, it's humbling for them too. It's like, oh, I can do a push up. It's like, well, no, our standard of push up is chest to the ground and arms, straight. And they're like, oh, that's really hard. Or they think a burpee is just kind of like doing a plank. And so it's just like, it's great to see where people's fitness level is and be like, well, really teach them to prepare them what class is going to expect of them. So yeah, I love everyone that I've like done on ramp. It's just so fun to then see them in class, and they have just been great and awesome and really, want that feedback and want to learn. And so I just find it really enjoyable to really get that one-on-one time to make sure that they get all the skills and are prepared for class.
I love that. I love something I want to point out is that I'm not going to quote it right, but Tim's like practice perfectly because it becomes permanent, right?
Mhm.
So when we're teaching people, let's just go with cleans. What do we always miss? Power position, muscling it through, like missing all that. You're taking the time to like point out the full range of motion and movements. And we just had that post from Glassman's archives about the half movement as your what are you doing? Like you should do the whole movement. You're probably losing something neurologically because you're not doing the full movement. It's everything. And when someone goes through an on ramp with you, they go into class and they're probably like 4 months ahead of the person that like will refuse to do an on ramp and just go to class.
Yeah.
And then you see them struggling, and then they're less likely to stick with it too because it's more of a stressful thing.
Right.
When you come to class, you're like, what the fuck is a hang course?
Mhm.
Because like you did not want to do the on ramp. You just were like, no, I can't, I don't have time, or whatever it is. So I really appreciate like all that attention to detail and explaining that to them because that's everything.
And technique's going to help them lift more. And so it's like, oh, I just can't do a snatch. It's like anyone can do it. Like freaking spend some time with Ed and he'll get you to lift anything. Like, because it's really just technique,
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, it's obviously showed. And like I said, so that was how come we had reached out for you to, get your input and kind of help us revamp the on-ramp program, because the clients that you've been turning out have all basically gone on and have had great success in the classes. And that's crucial because as you mentioned, if you don't take the on-ramp, you lack confidence. And if you're going into something without confidence, the chances of you actually staying involved are probably slim to none. And that's where most turnover is. And so, it may seem like it's just a 2-day on ramp, but that could be the gateway to somebody's fitness career when it's done right. So it's a very crucial uh, checkpoint in their fitness, because, like we said, that could make or break if this is going to be the place that changes your life, or if now you're like, this is too much, and I'm going to leave, and it all could have been prevented by the on ramp. So.
Yeah. We're not Orange Theory, like we're just running rogue, it's just like this is technical stuff. You have to learn those movements before that's what makes CrossFit amazing and unique. But unfortunately, if you don't, you can't just come off the street and just jump into class. No matter how fit you are, you've got to learn how to do those movements first.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a break from the script, and I'm going to ask some.
Oh no.
No. We're going to still go. I'm not going to put you on the hot seat yet, but obviously I am curious now. Have you always had this passion for fitness, like as a child? Like, what was it like, or when did this kind of come over you?
No, I always saw working out as like a chore. And growing up, my parents had like 5 kids, and so they needed us to be busy. So it's like I always had to like play sports. Like since I was little. And I always saw that as like not fun, like I didn't want to play those things. So,
What were some of the sports you played?
I mean, just like, soccer as a little kid, softball, never did basketball. I even did lacrosse one year. They started that in my high school. Um, so no, I always saw working out as a chore, like we have to do it, but I don't feel like that way anymore. I want to work out and, creating that habit of, having a gym you love, but it's like, I feel gross if I don't work out. I want to get my heart rate up, push myself. So now it's like a habit. So I appreciate that fitness has become a habit and a part of my lifestyle. I'm thankful my husband does it too. As you know, I bring my kids in here. So it's just like, it's something I look forward to doing. And I don't just work out. I think this answer one of the questions for the fitness or the physical part. I also, like, when I took a break from CrossFit, COVID, and having another baby, it was for my mental health. Like I just felt like I was dealing with a lot of anxiety and some stuff, and so I just felt like I needed to just clear my head. And it's like 1 hour where you don't have to have any other thoughts but how to get through the workout. And so it's just kind of a break from me and like my kids of just, there's nothing else to think about but working out, and that's me time. So I just really encourage anyone who also has like mental health, that I feel like being physically active is so helpful.
Ah,
Really, it's huge. There's so many actual like studies on humans that are duplicated and replicated to show that mental health does not need to be a bunch of pills and medications to get better. Like the physical activity and what you feed your body with has profound effects on that. So
Totally.
yeah, the hour in here is like church to some people. It really, I mean, that's another good analogy. Like you feed your soul at church, you feed your soul at CrossFit though too.
Yeah.
Sometimes we lay on the floor because we feel like we lost part of our soul. So that was so hard and good. But yeah, so that's interesting. So the switch from parents keeping you active to keep you busy. 5 kids is a lot. Yeah. I got tired hearing that. I was like, Mother's Day just felt harder, and I had one, but she had 5 kids for mom. But then it was like a chore and not enjoyable.
Yeah, I think, I was always seen as like, you got to work out, to look a certain way. But I just think I didn't have a good workout program. I mean, I've gone through different phases. Like, there's a while I was really into yoga and stretching, and that felt great. When I lived in San Francisco, I was part of a rock climbing gym. So I guess I have always been active. I think my parents always instilled that in me. I mean, they're in their 70s and they're super healthy, and they still play tennis. They go on walks every day. Like my whole life, they like ran. So I think they've always been that example of like, and they don't have any chronic illnesses or on any medication. And so it's just like, I guess also my parents instilled that of just movement and being physically active.
Awesome.
that's very cool.
I love that.
Yeah, that's so. You said that your parents are in their
70s. Yeah.
They don't take any medication, no chronic illnesses,
That's
and
legit.
and that's all from some of it you are assuming because as a child you seem to be constantly active.
And still to this day, like they're
Still to this
always, playing tennis every day. They go for walks. Even they live on the East Coast, so it'll be cold. They still get outside. So my dad has like a medicine ball at home that he does like stretches and workouts with. So my mom goes to like workout classes at her local gym. So yeah, I think they just always feel like you have to be active to be healthy.
That's huge. So this is huge for 2 reasons. One, because I love when we get to talk about working out and it's not about aesthetics or looks. And because most people who start, it's that superficial reason. It's I need to lose weight, I need to fit into this, I need to look a certain way for that. But you touched on 2 huge points there. You touched on the mental health aspect of it and how it helped you clear up anxiety that you were feeling. Is that true?
Yeah.
So that's huge because you're absolutely right. And Lord hit it on the head. Like people are so quick to hand out Prazolam or something else to deal with it when it's like, no, just start moving. It's like I would hope that a doctor would ask you, hey, when's the last time that you went outside?
Right.
When's the last time that you got some movement in? Like, what's your day-to-day life look like? So just the fact that you were able to find that just by working out on your own is huge. And then the other thing that was huge was you being able to see what this looks like stretched out over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Because having your parents and then knowing how they lived and seeing where they're at now, you have a different view than other people have. And you see that all the lies that they told us about, everybody has to take meds. Everyone's going to have to, have a hip replacement or this and that. That's not true, is it?
Right.
Dude, that is very, very cool because I'm on the other side of the spectrum where my grandparents are very out of shape and they never took care of their health. And now every single day, doctor's appointments.
Mm.
You go to their house and it literally looks like the Walgreens pharmacy with the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday pill thing and all these other things. And it's like, so that's two. So anybody watching this, I truly hope that you could see that health is something that is going to matter every day of your life. If you use an excuse that, oh, I don't have time because I'm working, or I don't have time because I have to schlep my kids here and there, at some point, those excuses are all going to be complete bullshit and your health is going to fall by the wayside. Your job that you have, everything that you think is important right now, believe me, there's going to come a time where it doesn't matter. And all you're going to have is your body, your health.
Health is wealth. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you're not healthy, you're not going to live a long life. And I think, too, we shouldn't always look to doctors for the solution because mental health or chronic illnesses, you're diabetic. Oh, here's the medicine. They don't talk to you about lifestyle, changing your diet. So if that, go to Lori because she'll fix all those issues. And so I think, too, in our country, it's like we just go to the doctor and get a pill for every problem. And really, so many problems can be fixed by lifestyle.
Yeah, you nailed that. Speaking of nailing things, talk to us about personal training. You're going to start being a personal trainer here. So what does that feel like for you? What are your hopes and dreams for all your clients coming in? Like, this is a great moment, this pivotal moment of jumping in with that. I love it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think, kind of stemmed from doing the on-ramp and the one-on-one and just, I love coaching classes, but getting that one-on-one personal relationships is really nice. I love seeing, anyone I've done on-ramp in class. And so, yeah, I'm just interested in spending more time. I've been, the first step was becoming the coach, and I started doing the on-ramp. And then the next step, you guys talking about, oh, do you want to do personal training? I thought, wow, yeah, I'm always looking to grow and learn. At first, I was a little intimidated. I was like, what do you mean personal? What do you do with personal training? And, Tim was really helpful. It's like, you know more than anyone else coming in the door, like you can do this. And so, yeah, I'm excited. I think, I have gone through my own journey and health journey of just like helping people to find out what motivates them, what is their whys, why are they here, what is it they really want to get out of, and not putting them through a hard work, challenging them, not just letting them stand there and be like, well, this is too hard. I'll get in there and do the workout with them, like, let's move, you can keep doing it. And yeah, just also teaching them, life skills for when they do leave the gym. Like, just because you came in here once a week to work out, personal training, you should also be walking every day or work at home, like work out. If you're having knee push-ups, okay, every day, try to get a few push-ups, like without the knees, having little goals to just progress of like, the solution isn't just come in here and it's going to fix all my problems. What they can start doing in their lifestyle to make those healthy choices and changes. I'm excited to see. Yeah, as you said, I'm motivated and passionate about it. And so I enjoy it.
That's so cool.
All right. So, do you have any more deeper questions or you want to have some fun?
No, I was just going to say, I might hire you because I know that I was laughing about this because today they talked about like cardio, just strength cardio. And I'm like, I mean, I'm always doing cardio in the hour workout, but with barbells and other things. And I was like, someone should make me run or ride the bike for like I should take like an endurance class. Maybe have you train me in that. I could be your
Sammy comes in every night after doing CrossFit. He just sits on the bike for 30. I'm like, that's awesome to see. So cool. Yeah. Yes.
I was going to ask you something else that I find very cool. So I watch a lot, and I obviously watch how you like you said, you're always bringing your children here to the gym and they're watching you. And I recently have watched how your oldest daughter has kind of begin to mimic you, and she tries to coach now.
She's
No, it's looks like I just mean like how she writes stuff for like Coach Ed's workout, or like
Yeah.
how
she wants, she writes workouts for Ed.
she likes to
Yeah.
program stuff already. She was like watching me training with my clients and all those kind of things. So, is it fair to say that you could say without a doubt that your children literally try to basically shadow things that you do?
Right.
Because a lot of parents seem to not realize this, and they just think that what they're doing is going unnoticed. I literally watched you become a coach, and literally within like 6 months, I watched her become a coach.
Oh.
And so, but that applies to other things like food, eating right. It's the example that you are setting. So, do you think that you could tell that just by you being here, are your children more active or more concerned about health, or like all these things? Like, what's it
And
like?
it's like, I don't even have to say it. They just can see their dad and I do it. You know what I mean? You don't have to talk. You don't have to say, oh, health is important or working out is important, because they'll see us why we come to the gym every day. And so it's nice where it's just like not a message I have to worry about, getting through to them. I'm just showing that by example. I feel like that's kind of been my parenting. Like, my kids will be pretty polite, or just they're really thoughtful with other kids. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even teach that. Like, but then I'm like, oh, but my husband's really nice. They must have learned it. Like, and so I'm just like, I haven't really stressed it. I didn't read like parenting books and all this. And I feel like if you're just doing that at your house and you're showing that example of how I treat my friends, my kids are picking up on that. That my kids aren't, as you see, my daughter will follow anyone around and go talk to anyone. So it's like, she's got my personality, that she's social. And so absolutely, I'm trying to get her to start Ed's classes. And totally, I love that she sees that women should be strong and powerful. And yeah, I love them giving that, for being that example for them.
Sure. And I hope that other parents who are watching this get that message, is that kids could care less what you say.
Yeah.
It is what you are doing that they pick up on more than anything, to a point where I could say I watch her daughter imitate her, literally going around trying to coach people. No one has taught her how to program a workout, but yet she's trying to do it.
Yeah.
It's just it's one of those things. Like, people have to understand that you could literally have your child do anything you want. Most of the time, it starts with, what are you doing, and what are they seeing? So that's very, very cool. So it's going to get a little bit real right now.
Uh-oh.
Anyone who comes on, any guest gets put on the hot seat.
Okay.
And so the hot seat, it's always fun. We're just going to ask some random questions.
Okay.
So it's nothing that's going to throw you off. But I'm going to start. I'm going to throw you a lovely little softball one.
Okay, good.
I know that you and your husband do date nights a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know your top 2 favorite Bay Area restaurants to go to.
Oh my gosh.
I'll give you 2.
2. Without kids, because I
Yes.
Date
night. Fun.
We like Azora in the Livery Plaza, like that Japanese restaurant. I feel like they have good drinks, a good usually our go-to is sushi. So I love that place. And I haven't, this next place I'm giving a shout out to, but I haven't been there. But I want to, is the new Hawaiian place downtown. Have you seen that? It's like a tiki bar where the vine is. I think that would be a fun date night. Like, I don't really want to go there. So I know. In their food, they look like there's like garlic shrimp that looks really good. So what's it? I can't remember the name of it, but those would be. Oh, and then Korean barbecue down in Dublin.
Korean barbecue in Dublin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never had that. I'm so hard. Do you hear my stomach growl? It's embarrassing.
It's
pick it up. I haven't had lunch yet.
It's a good date night. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So you and Steven have some awesome vehicles. What's your favorite vehicle so far?
Definitely the Cybertruck.
I love it. So cool.
Yeah. It was cool when we got the Model X and having kids and the doors open. It was like, this felt so easy putting the kids in out. So I thought no car would ever top that car, but not trying to give a shout out to Tesla, but yeah, then they made the Cybertruck, and I like being high up. Like, I'm not really a truck person, but I just feel safe in it. Like, it drives so well. There's so many cameras. And so I remember the first time Steven like borrowed one from work,
Talk about that.
oh yeah. I tried, and I was like, oh my God, my kids will be safe if we get in an accident. Like, my car's not going to dent. So yeah, I love the Cybertruck. It's really fun to drive. It drives well. Yeah, my kids love it. They hop in. Yeah, it's fun. It's good time.
Fun stuff. All right. Now, I know you've lived in a few different places.
Yes.
Let me get this. Boston, Seattle.
Yeah, very good.
Here.
Yeah.
Where else? Oh,
yes.
In San Francisco. So
I lived out. People don't know this. They're always surprised. I lived out in Turlock by Modesto for a year.
Ugh.
Yeah, because
He said,
I feel like a lot of people have connections out there. They're like, oh, I worked out there for work or something. Yeah. So I was out there.
Of all the places that you've lived, what would you say is your favorite place?
Ooh. That's hard because each one has different memories. Like, San Francisco was awesome being young and living in the city. But now looking back, I think the coolest place I ever lived was Friday Harbor in the San Juan Islands. That's off of Washington. Like, Free Willy was filmed there. Okay. I did not think it was cool living there. Like, we didn't have a McDonald's. There's not a stoplight. I was like, this place is, you got to take a ferry to go anywhere. Everything was around the ferry schedule. So as a little kid, I thought it wasn't cool. But now as an adult, I'm like, that place is so gorgeous. And so to live in a cool, unique place like that and the beauty that we had there. And now I'm like, I look at pictures, I'm like, wow, I'm so lucky I chance to live there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So one of those later in life where you're kind of having some gratitude for it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to go there now.
Yeah, I want to go back and visit.
McDonald's Lemon.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I don't think they still don't have fast food, or it hasn't changed. It hasn't.
That's like a time warp. Are you sure you don't time travel again?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Operation Looking Glass. How you get there? Uh-oh, we're gonna have to do a whole like deep dive on conspiracy theories now. MK Ultra, it's coming. Okay, so I love your favorite date nights, but now tell me about your favorite family vacation.
Oh, I mean, definitely Hawaii is, yeah, my girls love going there. And for me, Hawaii, ever since I've been there, it's just like I feel like Zen, I just feel like, the Hawaiian culture, everything there, it's just like time slows down, everything's chill, such good food, the beautiful beaches. But yeah, so Hawaii for me is definitely, I feel like, the best place to go to reset, just you check out, and it's one of those places you go there like, should I move here? Should I live here? So yeah, definitely Hawaii. And then once my kids are older, I hope to travel abroad and see all those places too. Yeah.
When they're teenagers, if it's in the budget, take them when they're like 14 and up, because Europe is really fun with that shit. I'm saying that with only one kid. I get it. They're gonna be like, having a good time and a meltdown no matter where you take them anywhere.
Right.
But there's something about showing them outside of this country that is so eye-opening for them too. On a side note, like, especially our girls growing up in San Ramon.
Yeah.
It's like a little microcosm of
so lucky.
There's so much
time. You have no clue.
I have no idea. Like, I don't know. You just drive through Antioch and YOLO too. No, I'm kidding. Take to the hood. I don't know. But no, that's cool. I'm glad that Hawaii is that. Which island? Do you have a special island?
I think Hawaii is the most beautiful. It's definitely like the least populated, the least like big cities. I don't even think they have a highway. I feel like you just drove around, like, their nature there.
Whole island.
Yeah, like there are waterfalls, everything there. I definitely feel like that island. And again, less developed, where you just feel like you can just be in nature. So that would definitely be my top island for sure. But not with kids. Like, I've gone there without kids.
Yeah.
I feel like with kids, you got to do like the walk away, they want that entertainment stuff.
So, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it. Can I ask you about the DMM, the Danville Mall Mafia?
Oh my God.
No, I've never heard of that.
No, you got me jumped into our gang.
Okay, never mind. I won't ask about the DMM.
If I make you a shirt, can I hear
Yeah,
that?
he says that from the Danville Mafia. It's not true.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's also what Gotti said when he was on trial. There's friends of mine.
As in something she's like.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that.
The Danville Mom Mafia, that is wild.
I completely love how first she had said, you could ask me, but then she said, actually, it's not real.
But you know what's cool about that is you're better off in that than the Black Hawk Cougar Club.
Oh, no.
I said it. It's my fault.
That's some scary stuff.
Oh no. Stay with your mafia. You're on the right track.
Yeah.
So no, but
they're just like, don't mess with us. You know, that's our kind of attitude.
See, of this non-existent crew, guys. But yeah,
if she were in they would not be messed with.
They would not be messed with. That's what it is.
You just gotta pretend, and then how would it be?
How would it be?
That's hella funny.
But so I will end it with this one, and it's the one that I ask everybody. If you could speak with anybody dead or alive and ask them anything you want to know, and just have a conversation, like a nice little dinner with them, who would it be? And it doesn't have to be a superstar. It could be a family member. It could be someone who's here now. But who would that person be?
Oh, I wish you told me this one ahead of time. I feel like I don't. I know. I mean, sometimes I feel like some politicians to like understand what's going through their head, but no. We're just gonna do something fun.
It's okay.
We're gonna just do Kim Kardashian. Like, just be like, girl, how'd you build your empire and make all that money?
I'm ready though. Look, your Danville Mom Mafia cannot get a videotape VHS. You're gonna make your money different.
Or no, maybe her mom. Her mom is the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's her mom's name again?
Chris Jenner. She can make all her kids successful. And no, I don't know. That sounds really superficial. I don't really follow them, but that's the first person I thought of. Like, I don't know who's kind of famous that you could have asked to kind of see how they built their empire. I don't know.
Okay.
You know?
Well, no, that would work.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Both of them are big into black guys, so yeah. I'm messing with you guys.
Oh, except Courtney. Courtney.
Dead right now.
Yeah.
You guys are killing. It's fun like this all the time. Why are people not all part of the CrossFit San Ramon community? It's fun like this all the time.
You're lucky we're not having drinks. Then it'll be really crazy.
Oh my God, we've not yet had drinks on the podcast because it's happy hour somewhere.
Yeah, it is fun.
But it's 2:00 here. So, no, it's okay. Because when we go to the Kentucky Derby, they're 3 hours ahead. And then you're drinking mint juleps at like 9 a.m. your time. That's what I did. And I was like 22. So
we should maybe do one episode at some point.
Just have a social hour
podcast. Yeah. And
we'll get a few coaches on front. We'll just go for it.
There we go.
That'd be hella fun.
Well, either way, Coach McKenna, thank you for taking time out of your day to come on the show and answer these questions. Obviously, it has been a true pleasure, and I actually learned a lot more about you. So very, very good. I'm very happy to have you here. If anybody wants to follow you on Instagram, do you want to share your Instagram?
Oh, yeah. It's just my name, I guess, because my name is unique, McKenna Wynn. So it's just my full name, but I think I need to someone told me to make
you should make Coach McKenna 19.
Yes, I need to make a CrossFit one.
Let's do it.
So right now it's just my kids.
So I will be completely fine. You could check with your real game and see if it's cool to have ties in both, because I don't want to mess up what you built there as a cop-out. So yeah. I want to jack that up.
So it's coming soon, the Instagram. Coming soon. Yes.
You got anything for him, Lori?
No, just thank you so much for being part of it and for being a part of the community and the coaching. I mean, you do so much and you bring so much to these, I don't know how many walls we have now that we've expanded, but these 4 walls that are like 3 billion. You're amazing. And I appreciate you as a friend and a coworker and someone I can work out with. And I want to be part of your gang. So what am I doing? I will go from someone who ran gang intel for Carmen's Sheriff's Department to straight gangbang. Let's go.
Well,
hey, I've hit midlife, right?
Yes.
So let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Well, that's all we have for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share the show. And as always, keep it classy, San Ramon. That's all we got.